Jar Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
Sant yàlla.
looy xaar utal Wave nga scan nga fay te nag doo ci yokku dara.
A better way to pay your UTG fees with instant proof of payment and real-time student portal update. Paying your University of the Gambia fees has never been easier or more convenient. With Ecobank, students, parents and guardians can pay UTG tuition and related fees through our secure digital banking channels such as Ecobank mobile app, Ecobank online and Ecobank Omni Lite. Once payment is completed, instant proof of payment is generated and the UTG student portal is updated in real time, allowing students to proceed immediately with registration, course selection, and clearance without unnecessary delays, while giving parents and guardians peace of mind that payments have been successfully processed. How to pay via the Ecobank mobile app. Open the Ecobank mobile app and navigate to the home screen. Select Pay Bill. Choose Pay a New Bill and select Schools from the category options. Select University of the Gambia. Select the specific product you are paying for. Enter your matriculation number and tap Continue. Validate your details. The system will display the payable amount. Press Continue to confirm the payment. An e-receipt is generated automatically as proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. How to pay via Ecobank Online or Omni Lite. Log in to Ecobank Online and Omni Lite using your credentials. Select the menu and choose Bill Payments. Choose Quick Bill Pay and select School from the category options. Select University of the Gambia. Select the specific product you are paying for. Enter your matriculation number and tap Continue. Validate your details. The system will display the payable amount. Press Continue to confirm the payment. An e-receipt is generated automatically as proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. Walk into any Ecobank branch or pay through our digital channels and enjoy instant proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. Ecobank, the Pan-African Bank.
At his Brikama rally on Saturday, President Barrow reignited controversy by directly criticizing opposition leader Usainu Darboe, accusing him of staging videos to exaggerate electricity outages and mocking Usainu Darboe's comments about hunger in the Gambia. The question is, was this another unfair personal attack? Has it intensified political tensions ahead of December's elections? Next on Coffee Time is the Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Ismaila Ceesay. He's usually here with updates, but he will also talk about this particular rally where he himself spoke. Doctor, good to have you back.
Good morning.
Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah. Let's start with the updates.
Yes.
I know you are itching, to talk politics.
I'll make it brief. I think the first update is to inform the public that His Excellency the President during this weekend attended the second convocation of the UTG, or University of Science, Engineering and Technology. That is the USET, the new technology university, at the Sadara Jawara Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center. The occasion was obviously graced by cabinet ministers, families of students, the president himself, diplomats, and other senior government officials. But the most important takeaway is that this is the second convocation of this very important university, which drives to produce homegrown engineers to ensure that they drive Gambia's development.
How is it doing? Because I remember when the idea was first floated to convert what was then GTTI into what is today USET. Of course, there was a lot of criticism coming from all kinds of corners. Why do you have to have a second university? Why can't you just upgrade, some of the courses, at the UTG so that everything is centered, at the UTG?
Obviously, people have a right to their opinions. And in a democracy, when the government wants to do a particular policy, it's important that people also express their views. But in this case, it's important for us to build specialized universities. We'll have to look at, and these things are conscious policies. It's not like we're just doing things out of the blues. You have to look at your population. You look at the global environment. You look at the job market, both local but also internationally. And you kind of build a kind of a scenario as to what would the market need what would the job market need in 10, 15 years? What kind of competence do we need in this country? So we build specialized university. That is why we build the university for the civil service. We realize that we need to build an efficient, effective, competent civil service. Sure. So a university of civil service focuses on building the competence of civil servants. That's the former MDI.
Yes.
So we need to upgrade, because the MDI was there since in the First Republic, Second Republic, but Gambia is changing. And these universities are not to serve today's purpose, but future purpose as well. Then we realize GTT has to be upgraded to a university, because we need engineers, we need homegrown engineers, we need technicians, we need mechanics, we need solar installators, we need to create an incubation within the university, an entire ecosystem going digital. So obviously GTTI is not fit for purpose. We need to upgrade the university. It's a specialized university. Then we realize also the Gambia College, transforming it into a university, because before with a HTC and a TC you could teach. That has changed now. You need to have a degree to be able to teach effectively. So transforming it into a university. So these are specialized universities, and I think this policy is adopted by many countries across the world, where you have specialized universities. If you go to Stockholm, they have what they call Coteho. This is focusing only on technology.
What do you call what?
Coteho.
Coteho.
The King's Technical School, kind of. So, or the Royal Technical School. So it focuses only on that. Then you have those that are focusing only on public administration, only on business. So when you do that, then what you do is the education is more targeted, it's more focused, and therefore what you produce, they become more competent.
All right. So that's justifying the establishment of USET.
So also the president was at the former Mboyo field to inaugurate this very beautiful...
I wasn't invited, so I didn't come.
...infrastructure.
It's just in my backyard.
It was open to the public.
All right.
We didn't get an invitation. It's now called the O.J. Jal Memorial Mini Stadium, in memory of the efforts.
Actually, there's a slight mistake there. It should be O.A., not O.J. O.A. Omar Amadou Jallo, nicknamed O.J.
Yes, maybe it's me who...
No. Everybody... I think it's an error.
Yeah. But his nickname is O.J. Yes. People call him fondly O.J. Yeah. So obviously...
But that's what I'm saying. So it should be...
I'm not sure what's been written on
O.A.
the plaque itself.
Jallo. Mm-hmm. Yes, the nickname is O.J. To say O.J. Jallo, the name is Omar Amadou Jallo.
We know that. What I'm saying is, fondly we call him O.J. Now, on the plaque itself, which is on the infrastructure, this might reflect what you are saying, because they would have taken note of that. Okay. But we fondly call him OJ. That is why perhaps maybe those who wrote this just wrote OJ Jallo Memorial Mini Stadium. This is in Bakote. This was to honor his legacy and also fulfilling community requests from earlier Meet the People tour. The president was on tour on 2 occasions. And the community was really begging for the president to improve that infrastructure. It is a beautiful sporting infrastructure with basketball lawns and other sporting facilities.
Martin knows it very well.
But also a very beautiful football. It was a very good occasion. The president was there himself to inaugurate this very important infrastructure. Now, the vice president, His Excellency Mohamed B.S. Jallo, inspected Banjul's drainage systems, stressing vigilance against waste dumping and collective responsibility to protect flooding during the rainy season. I think the other one has to do with...
There's one I haven't heard.
Which one?
The NPP manifesto launch.
Yes, it's not a government update. That's a political MPP update.
When we were just talking about use of the state broadcaster, and we were told that wherever the president goes.
No, so my updates, focus more on policy and sector specific.
Yeah.
Now, I'll discuss that because it's a very important political event. In fact, this weekend was one of the most important political weekends in this country, with the MPP providing vision, showing momentum, but also.
Can you finish your updates before
engaging? Exactly. So we'll come to that. So I think basically those are the most. Apart from the fact that today I have a very important guest. The Minister of Social Communication from Guinea-Bissau is coming to visit me.
They call there as the Minister of Social Communication.
Yes, he's coming to visit
What's
me.
What's the idea behind? I mean, aren't they unique in having that title for an information minister?
It's not, because you could call it Minister of Public Communication or Public Information. Social communication means that communication within the social realm, that is government communicating with the public. So in there is the direct translation from Portuguese. It amounts to social communication. So,
okay, we take that.
So he's coming. He's already in town. He's coming on a 2 days walking visit to come and see what we are doing in the Gambia, but also to further strengthen bilateral ties.
What will you show him?
So we have an MOU between my ministry and the Ministry of Social of Guinea-Bissau, and the MOU touches on many different issues of collaboration. We are going to have a session to revisit this MOU to look at implementation levels. Today he's coming to the office. We're having a ceremony, a welcome ceremony. They will have a brief press conference. I'll show him GRTS, both TV and radio. We'll also might visit.
Stunning studios, GRTS.
Of course,
I mean, the modern GRTS
beautiful ones.
It's not the GRTS that I once worked in.
When you were there was no TV. Now there's a TV. That's an improvement.
There was no TV, but
yes.
I mean, you're still using the radio facilities, for your TV
refurbished ones.
Yeah.
So we might visit a few media houses. We also go and pay a courtesy call to the Vice President, His Excellency. I think then we'll have some sessions.
Good luck. And then when will you pay a return visit to Guinea-Bissau?
I was there last year.
Okay.
This is when we signed.
They're paying a return visit to you now?
No, actually, the guy who was there first, he's not there anymore. He came to visit me. I reciprocated. Then we signed the MOU. And when the new minister came, he wanted to come and see what we are doing. In particular, what we are doing with our response center, but also what we are doing with in terms of public communication in general, but also proactive disclosure of information. They are very fascinated with some of our initiatives like the Mansakunda and so on and so forth. So he'll be in town for 2 days. So I think those are the updates, Peter, for now.
You started describing this past weekend as one of the most significant
political weekend.
I'll say weekends. You're giving it a whole week involving the president. Why?
Because it was packed with events and activities that focused on 3 issues. One was to provide vision for the Gambian people as to moving forward. The president has had 2 mandates. The first, obviously, which was a bit contested, but he had a full mandate from 2021 to 2026, and he delivered based on the promises he made before he was given that mandate. Pretty much every sector he has invested in. We've seen improvements and significant improvements in almost all the sectors. Now he's asking for another mandate, and I think it is important that he doesn't only come and reconcile with the Gambian people.
Why did you insist on the second? You had to, sort of...
A second full mandate. The first mandate was under the framework of a coalition. He has now he's asking for a second full mandate now. Therefore, it is important for him to come and tell the Gambian people that this is what I've done in the past.
Could this mandate also be seen as a third mandate of his?
Well, if you want to look at it from the legal technical point of view, yes. But it's still, like I said, it's contested. What I can focus on is that he's asking for his second full mandate.
Okay.
And therefore, it's important for him to come and tell Gambian people that, hey, I've done this in the past 5 years. Now, this is my vision for the next 5 years. and therefore I'm seeking for you to give me this mandate. That is the manifesto. The manifesto is a political document which so there are two types, obviously. There are those parties that has never been to power. Their manifesto will only say what they want to do. Promises. Some of these promises are empty, by the way. Now, for the incumbent, he has the opportunity not only say what he wants to do, but also say what I have done and what I want to improve on. Now, for example, he can say on roads, when I came, this was what was there, 800 kilometers of roads across the country from 1965 to when I took over power. And from 2021 to 2026, I have built this number of kilometers of roads. And now this is my vision going forward. So obviously, yes, that's on roads. Healthcare, this is what I've done. This is what I want to do. So for the incumbent, you don't only tell us what you want to do, but also Gambians hold account for what also you've done. And everybody can agree with me. Even the rats in the hole can agree with me.
They can't hear you, by the way.
But who knows? Can agree with me that Gambia is better off today than it was 10 years ago in every sector. And that is a fact, and nobody can take that away. In security, in democratic stability, in press freedom, in infrastructure, in healthcare service delivery, in education, access to education, quality education, in energy provision and access. In every sector, Gambians are not worse off today than they were 10 years ago. And that is a fact. In salary increment, we've increased salaries by over 110%. So in every sector, in women empowerment, in youth empowerment, in supporting farmers, every sector today, we are better off today than 10 years. And that's a fact. It means there's an improvement. There are still challenges, yes, but no country moves very fast. And the business of government is a serious business. You know what's happening globally? You know what's happening in the UK? They've changed 6 prime ministers since Brexit. Not because it's a democracy, that democracies change governments every now and then, because everybody who is given the chance, someone will come and say, I can do better than him because he's struggling to do it. And they'll change the prime minister, and it's the same problem. It shows that the problems that most countries are facing today, cost of living challenges.
That's one ability that the UK have that we don't have. I mean, a lot of people are saying, we need to change Barrow.
That ability is a disadvantage because countries need stability. Now, changing prime ministers every 1 year or changing presidents every 1 year doesn't guarantee that the problems will be solved. And this has clearly been manifested in the UK, that they've been changing prime ministers every 1 year, 2 months on average since Brexit. But has the problems been solved? No. These problems still keep lingering. So perhaps what countries need is stability, because some problems are structural in nature and therefore they are not quick fixes. That is why when I see some of these boys running around talking about why Barrow should step aside for them to take over this government.
What boys? Definitely not Martin here.
Well, the boys, they know themselves. That run around thinking that they can change the situation of this country. You see, government is a serious business. It's no joke. It's about people's lives. And when you deal with people's lives, you don't joke with people. You don't play politics with people's lives. It's about the girl child's education, the girl child who's in Kabada. How she ends up when she grows up. It's about that. It's about people's healthcare. It's about people's access to jobs for young people. So these are very important.
Which is hard to come by.
No. They're not hard.
Unemployment is still a big problem.
No. But what I'm saying,
people question, the numbers you.
It's not. It's GBOS. GBOS is a highly credible, competent authority.
Now they're saying you misinterpreted.
No, we did not. It's very clear. The job market absorbed 163,000 people into the economy. Absorbed 160,000 people. The economy absorbed it. This could be both on formal and informal. It absorbed. At least people are doing something. And technically, the definition of unemployment is that somebody who is looking for a job in the past 4 weeks and is ready to get into the job market. So therefore, sitting at home and not having a job is different from unemployment. It's not unemployed. So what we've done is that we have came up with policies that has created opportunities for Gambians to engage in economic activities, and we think that is important. Now, my point again to come back to that is that business of governance is a serious business. It's no joke. We don't play politics with it, and I think it's important that Gambians understand that from that point of view.
Okay. Well, he addressed a big rally in Brikama. You were part of the people who mounted the podium, I was told.
Yes.
Why did you have to mount the podium? You're CA, aren't you?
But this rally was...
What are you doing, mounting
the rally
the podium?
was organized by NPP and allied parties. Remember, we worked with
NPP and allied parties.
So the rally was organized by NPP West Coast Region and allied parties.
It's been described everywhere I've read as NPP rally.
Yeah, but it's an NPP-led coalition, therefore people will shorten it to say NPP rally. But it's an NPP-led. It's an NPP-led party coalition where allied parties also participated in the. In fact, the committees that were organized to plan the rally. Okay. Every coalition member had a member in those committees. Therefore, we did. Even the manifesto launch also was also done together with allied parties. We worked together.
Let's take the president's speech. What stood out, is, in all the reports I have read about it, was President Barrow's remarks accusing Usainu Dabo of staging blackout videos, mocking his hunger comments. I mean,
but obviously, okay.
Is that fair?
I'll respond to that.
Did he cross the line?
No. I'll respond to that. What stood out in that rally, insofar as the president's speech is concerned, are two things. Two things, only two things, and nothing else for me. One, that next year, he'll increase salaries of civil servants by 30%. He said that, and that's true.
Yes.
Two,
I've read that.
Two, within 2 or 3 years, the Gambia will have energy security, 100%. There will never be blackouts in this country. Those two stood out. Now let's come to the other issue you raised. He said
by the end of 2028,
yes,
blackouts will be history in this country.
Even before that.
I'm saying by the end,
yes,
meaning it could happen before, but it won't go beyond.
No, with the plans that we are putting in place. No. Then we come to the other issues. And for me, they are not the sticking points. You see, the president and Lawyer Dabo has a special relationship.
Oh, really?
Yes. They have a special relationship. So, therefore, that is why I don't get into when they go after each other, I don't go into that because of special relationship. That's between them. However, when you say he accused the Lawyer Dabo of staging, it's not accusation, it is a fact. Everybody knows that Lawyer Dabo's house doesn't have blackouts.
It does not?
No.
Hello?
No. He's well equipped with what he needs to make sure that he has constant electricity. So therefore, any video coming from Lawyer Dabo's house showing darkness is a staged one. It's not an accusation, it's a fact. It's a fact. It's not an accusation, it's a fact. So it was well choreographed to play with the sentiments of Gambians.
Actually, I didn't see it. I would love to see it. If you
I saw it, but you would live in... I mean, it was even badly done. In fact, if I was Dabo, I would sack my entire communication team.
I thought you said it was well done.
No, I think it was choreographed to play with the sentiments of Gambians. I'm not saying it's well done. What I'm saying is that it was choreographed to... But the manner in which it was done, the body language, the language style, the speaking style, the words, it was so poorly done that even, again, let me use my word, the rat in the hole will know this was planned, staged, fabricated, choreographed, but it went wrong. So therefore, if I was him, I wouldn't be happy with my team. Whoever advised him to do that, to take government to task about the challenges of electricity within that period, that was a bad move. He should have done something else to take us to task. Not that video was a poor one. And therefore, I just confirmed it was an accusation. Fact that it was choreographed and not staged. Point two. You mentioned what he said again was...
About the hunger.
The hunger. When I heard the interview of Lawyer Dabo saying that... Because it was this... Let's look at the context. He was asked that if Barrow is remembered as a president who is the builder of roads in this country,
yes,
what would you want your legacy to be if you were to be president? He wasn't well prepared for that question. Oh. Therefore, that is why he answered it very wrongly.
Oh.
If he was prepared for that question, if his team had prepared him for that question, I bet he would have had a different answer. But because that question took him off guard, he never expected that question. And I give credit to Pamodu Bojan for being a very good journalist. In asking that very critical question, he said, I'll be remembered as the one who made hunger
a thing of the past
in this country. But again, we've gone to every corner of this country, to every region, to every constituency, to every ward, to every village with the president on tour on many occasions. I have never heard a Gambian complain that our problem is hunger in this country. All they say is roads, which the president is building for them. All they say is stadiums, which the president is building for them. All they say is electricity, which the president is providing. All they say is water, which the president is providing. All they say is schools, which the president is providing. All they say is hospitals, which the president is providing. All they say is finance for women to engage into business, which the president is providing. All they say is jobs, which the president is providing.
NPP women.
No. The Minister of Gender rolled out the Women Empowerment Fund and has spent over $90 million giving women entrepreneurs to either start a business or expand their businesses. And that is a fact. So, it means that if there is someone who is not in touch with what the population is thinking, it is Lawyer Darboe. Because clearly, in this country, hunger is not a problem. It is not. So the president was also right to point that out.
30% salary increase at a time when we are obviously saddled with heavy debts. Where will that money come from?
So again, I correct that. We're not saddled with heavy debts.
What are we saddled with?
Somebody who's saddled with heavy debts is someone who cannot pay his debts. Yes, we have debts, or we are like every country in the world. Even Saudi Arabia with all the oil wealth. Even Australia, the US. Japan is a wealthy country. Their GDP to debt ratio is over 230%. We are only 69% to 70%, which is really good. We have debt, but we are paying, and it's not disturbing us. It means we are not saddled with heavy debt. Somebody who's saddled with that, the debt burden is so heavy on you that you cannot know.
It is.
It is not.
You can choose to downplay it, trivialize it, whatever.
I'm not trivializing. We are able to pay our debt without having a big hole in our public finances. In fact, today, our budget deficit is one of the lowest in the history of this country. If we had a huge budget deficit and we are struggling to even meet our most basic needs because of repaying our debts, I will say we are not saddled. We have a low budget deficit.
That's what you call debt distress.
No.
What you're describing, we would have been in debt distress.
We have a low budget deficit.
There are warnings that we are on the cusp.
No, that is wrong. We have a low budget deficit. We have been able to provide public services for the Gambians, and we're able to pay our debts without having to struggle. So we are not heavily saddled. So therefore, the promise of increasing salaries by another 30% next year is highly realistic.